the biggest news is that Cody Rhodes left AEW. So did his wife, Brandy. And the rumor is Cody's going to be heading back to WWE. Nate, you and I speculated about this weeks ago, and now it has come to pass.
Yes. I'm sure they'll welcome him with open arm.
I think so too. What are the pros and cons for Cody? Because my gut tells me it's a good move for him.
Oh, I absolutely there's no way it couldn't be a good move for him
Well, why do you think that?
because he made himself on his own. Then he went to work with AEW, made himself even bigger, and why not bring back Cody Rhodes, son of Dusty Rhodes? Huge.
Why do you think Cody left? It's maybe unfair to read his mind, but was it creative? Was it money? You hear rumors that him and the other founders drifted apart. What's your best guess?
I don't have a guess. I just wish him the best of luck and to always hold his head high and remember who he was.
I don't know why I'm saying this. It strikes me as something Dusty might have done.
No, I just think that, when he left, I'm not sure if you call it good or bad terms. I guess he left. There were some issues over of course, the trademark issues and stuff like that, which there always will be. But he left. They went out and made it on his own, and then he and Tony hooked up. And I don't know. I can't without giving you false information. I don't know why he left. I swear I could find out, but I heard back from him. We text each other, and I just said, be who you are. Don't take any shit from anybody. That's what I told him.
Well, one point you bring up that's very prescient, Nate, is he did make himself. He left WWE after
Yes.
what I'm sure he would think would be a disappointing run, the Stardust character at the end, stuff like that. He did that indie show, which was the birth of AEW. Without
Yep.
Cody Rhodes, there is no AEW.
Yep.
Before that, he had a good run in Ring of Honor, where he elevated his name and that company. So clearly, he is as self-made as any wrestler I can think of in the last how many decades?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And still just a young man.
Yeah, for sure. And again, there is no AEW without Cody, and Tony Khan has acknowledged that. And I don't think the split was.
Tony acknowledged that?
Yeah. In so many words, I don't think the split was amicable, but I don't think it was. I don't think it's a blood feud either.
I have no idea.
Now, well, Cody's
I'd love to speculate, but I don't even want to go there.
now when Cody goes back to WWE, will his past as a character like Stardust hurt him? Will it haunt him, or will he just be Cody Rhodes, who we saw in AEW?
Cody Rhodes.
How big will he be right away? How big will they use him?
I think Biggie.
Because there's a myth that Vince buries guys he brings in from competing companies, but there's not much evidence of that, is there? I mean, he did it with you. Ironically, one example I can think of is
You know why
Dusty.
you know why he did it with me?
Go ahead.
I never buried him.
Oh, that's a good point.
Look how they carried Eric out. Look what they did with the NWO.
Yeah, that's that's very, very true. And I was going to bring up Dusty because he didn't do right by Dusty really. He put him in the polka dots and had Sapphire with him, but Dusty kind of buried him, didn't he? Back when?
Well, I didn't bury him, but the two things I never did is Harley Race used to go out because Harley Race was tough enough to do this. Those plastic champions, those guys that call themselves the world champion, they're just plastic. I am the world champion. Of course, he was talking to Hulk, right? And then Dusty would go out and say something that alluded to New York. Does that make sense?
Of course.
Yeah, and it was always that. At the end of the day, you know what he was saying. And was such a fabulous talker that he could put it together, and it was smooth, but you know what he was saying. I never did that. I never said a word. I refused to. Bischoff wanted me to crack on Vince on WWE. I said, absolutely will never do that. Ring of Honor, that was bullshit with them. They wanted me to get in the goddamn ring and say that they were this big and could compete with the WWE. I said, I absolutely will not do that. And I walked out the door. I don't care what story you hear from anybody, that's what happened. That was unconditional. I will never crack on the WWE. Do I have issues with people that work there? Yes. But the WWE pulled me from my head being shamed beyond belief for who I was supposed to be in the business. Head shaved, shaved my son's head. Oh my God. Had to get us both, right? He thought it was the greatest thing in the world because he was 12 years old. But what a way to be left. And that's how they left me. That's history. And that's bullshit.
Do you think Vince uh will have enough faith in Cody to make him one of their major champions before too long? Is that in his cards?
I don't know.
Do you think he's good enough to merit that?
Yes.
See, I think that if he would bring him in, and like I said, first and foremost, if he believes in Cody's quality, which I can't believe he wouldn't do. But I think if you put one of the big belts on Cody, the Universal or the WWE title, I think people in AEW that you might want to get down the road are going to look at that and say, okay, we'd get treated the right way up there. I think that would be not only properly recognizing Cody's talent, but would be good to sow some seeds moving forward.
Mhm. Well, I don't know if they'll give him a major belt or not. He certainly has the talent to pull it off. But I also think that I do like the idea of him having to, um, and I'm sure he'll agree with me. There's a lot of people up there to improve, to impress before you start thinking about being a world champion.
Oh, no, I'm not saying overnight, Nate, but I'm saying, down the road because he is only, like we said, 36.
Oh no, I down the road, I definitely feel, but it won't be. I'd be surprised if it was right away.
Do you think he'll be on WrestleMania?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I think he'll make an appearance.
Here's what I could see. I could see him doing a run-in or something like that at WrestleMania and then debuting proper on Raw the next night.
That's a possibility.
That seems that would be a good way to do it. Now,
To start into a I mean to cause somebody to win or lose, then get into a feud with them, right?
right, right. Now,
So
Nate,
is he going to be a babyface or a heel?
I would rather ask you that question. What do you think?
He's got to be a babyface.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I think given where he's coming from and what he did when he was there prior, I think it would be better as a babyface, especially initially.
Yeah, especially with the last name Rhodes. Can always turn around later, but he's such a talented kid and can do everything the babyfaces, need to do, drop kick and all that, all the, the shine, everything that they all do so well at that level. So I think I'd make him a babyface.
Did you ever drop kick? Ever try it?
Yeah, but I had to run 5 feet to do it. Only once.
Who'd you drop kick? Do you remember?
Ole Anderson off the apron.
I bet he was thrilled.
Yeah. Wish I'd hit him with a cement block.